He attacks the oil and gas industry. He attacks the healthcare industry. He attacks the banking industry, as we said, the finance industry. He attacks the food industry. And what are these industries? They're you. You either work for companies or small businesses or suppliers or what have you related to these fields, or you benefit from them somehow. So they try and segregate industry by industry by industry. Oh, I'm not involved in oil and gas. Yes, you are. Do you wear clothing? You have polyester? You have an automobile? Do you travel? Do you use electricity? Do you heat your home? Do you cool your home? Use fertilizer? Yes, you're involved in the oil and gas industry. I hate the healthcare bastards. But you're involved in that industry too. If they don't have money to invest in hospitals, there's a shortage of beds, new technologies, drugs, and on and on and on. I hate those damn bankers. Well, the banks are, in essence, you may not understand this, run by our government already. They're not free enterprise related, really. Ask them. Go look. Food industry. And all of this shakes down to the lowest, on the lowest step on the ladder. The restaurant, the employees at the restaurant, the people who work for the healthcare industry, the doctors, the nurses, the janitors at the hospitals, on and on. It affects all of us. And there's Obama, a man with zero private sector skills. Did I say zero? He knows how to handle all of it. He knows how to transform them. He knows how to reform them. He knows how to operate them. And he knows most of all what's fair. What's fair in the oil and gas industry? What's fair in the healthcare industry and banking and finance and the food industry and all the rest of it? Any government that's big enough to take down ExxonMobil is big enough to take down you. Any government that's big enough to take down Kraft Foods is big enough to take down you. Any government that's big enough to take down McDonald's is big enough to take down you. Then what? Then what? The individual has no defense. There's nothing fair about an imperial president acting like a mastermind, claiming the power to reorganize our society. There's nothing fair about it. There's nothing rational about it. Obama wants to substitute his image of how society should function, which is not defined, he uses platitudes and generalities, for how you actually live your life. Let me tell you something. With all the money he has spent and all the power he had, especially in the first 2 years of his presidency, where the hell is paradise? Where the hell is this nirvana he promised us? And that's what he does. Where is it? I need more time. Why do you need more time? Because it's not fair enough yet. That's what they all say. Yes, all societies that are transforming from free to non-free, they need more time. The old Soviet Union, after decades of all kinds of plans, 5-year plans and 10-year plans, they needed more time. Meanwhile, people go hungry. People are dispirited. They turn into drones. People become expendable because everybody has to work to the plan. Why? Because Stalin said so. Why? Because Castro said so. Why? Because Chavez said so. Why? Because more and more our government says so. Work to the plan. We can't have some people super successful, others kind of successful, and others who are failures. We can't have that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if we can't have that, then we can't have a free society. We cannot have a free society. In totalitarian societies, they're not only not free, the people suffer enormously. There is no paradise. There is no nirvana, not in this lifetime. And yet the closest thing is our country, is our society, pre all this big government. But let's talk about fairness. Mr. Romney and your hired help, pay attention. I'm trying to help you out here. This is the way you need to address it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's pretend I'm the Romney campaign. I want to talk about Obama and fairness. New York Times piece, hat tip gateway pundit. The retirement dream seems further away for a lot of baby boomers, and they appear to be responding to that by holding on to their jobs if they can. But that may have worsened the employment prospects for younger workers. The fact of the matter is that this aging but not yet aged segment of the baby boomers class can't afford to retire, said David Rosenberg, chief economist of Gluskin Sheff, a Canadian firm, noting that overall household net worth was 15% lower than at the pre-recession peak. Fairness. Wow. Fairness is cool, isn't it? L.A. Slimes. Newly minted college graduates lucky enough to find a job after leaving school are in for a shock. They'll likely be earning less money than they would have a decade ago. Oh, more fairness. Here's the math. In 2011, freshman college grads earn an average of $16.81 an hour, about $35,000 a year. That's down 5.4% from 2000. And women fared much worse than men because of Obama's war on women, no doubt. Their wages declined 8.5% to $15.74 an hour over the same period, while those of men dipped 1.6% to $18.29 an hour. Fairness. More Obama fairness. And let me underscore again that women are harmed more under Obama fairness than are men. And yet he positions himself as being the fighter for women. CNSnews.com. The White House and congressional leaders of both parties in Congress have begun maneuvering this week over the issue of federal debt. What to do when the government hits the latest statutory limit on that debt, $16.394 trillion. Federal debt is currently $15.7 trillion, about $685 billion below the limit. More fairness. See, folks, this isn't about fairness. It's about destruction. It's about fundamental transformation. You can't buy fairness with taxes, bureaucrats, and politically motivated spending. Can you? No, you can't. And how do we know? Obama's record. Mitt Romney and the boys, I hope you're paying attention. Obama today said you're not running on your Massachusetts record. Your response is, and President Obama's not running on his current record. And if this is how he defines fairness, then we're in deep trouble.